This is my husband, Jacob. For those of you who have not met him before or seen him. But I decided to bring him in to also share his perspective. Or I guess his point of view on losing weight. So like, it's crazy to me because it doesn't feel like it's been a long time, but it also feels like it has been a long time.
No, I feel like it's been a very long time. A very long time.
But because our weight loss was so like gradual, it's crazy to think that like we're both 60 pounds down.
Yeah, you're closer to 70 than I am.
But it's because it's happened so gradual, it doesn't feel like oh, like here's my tips on losing 60 pounds, because it's just like living your life every day and like just making different choices every day, I guess, you know?
Yeah. I think like being a bigger person, not like someone who is like 180 going to 160, you know, like doesn't make as big of a difference when you lose like 50 pounds. And
for sure, that's a good point too. Like, I still think there's a lot of people in our life that like haven't really said anything, and maybe that's just because they don't think it's appropriate to say anything, but also
that'd be weird.
Well, like, you know how some people are uncomfortable like talking about weight or bringing weight up or saying like, oh, you've lost weight. So I don't know if that's part of it, but also like you're right, being more overweight, I think you don't see the changes as much as someone who's like losing a smaller amount of weight.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why like people see Wegovy and they're like, whoa, it's so easy. And it's like, no, it's cool for sure if you've lost like 15 pounds and you needed to lose like 10.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I need to lose like
that does also piss me off.
More, you know what I mean? So it's like,
right.
You know, I don't know. I feel like there's a weird stigma with it.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, I wish it was like a miracle drug. That'd be awesome. I work in pharmaceuticals, so I can say that.
Yes.
You know, so, but it's not like you take it and then like everything changes.
No, you have to put in a lot of work, and I think that's also like an important piece of the puzzle that a lot of people miss. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but like if you're not like setting yourself up for success by like changing your actual lifestyle, then whatever drug you're on is not gonna solve all your problems. Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's what's been like the biggest challenge, I guess, is like changing who I was. You know what I mean? Because like being a fat piece of shit was like my like it was like part of my character. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I became used to like being like an ugly person, so I wanted to be funny instead. You know, and like
or like always being like the fat friend.
Yeah,
and
you know,
like,
and like. But like losing weight and like knowing I can do it, and like, you know, I've lost 60 pounds, so it's like, okay, the next 60 is coming off. Like, we're moving on. But like it's having like confidence in myself to be like, you can lose weight and like you deserve to feel good, and like, you know. Yeah. Which I think is tough for a lot of people to.
Oh, 100%. You know? I think the same way that the cycle works, where like if you fall off and then you like make more bad decisions and then you hate yourself for it and then you like find yourself back at square one, I think the same thing works with like seeing yourself and seeing that you are like worthy of making changes to lose weight, to be healthier, to feel better, to be more confident. Yeah. Because when you've always seen yourself as a bigger person, it's hard to not and like to think that like I could, you know, lose weight, or I deserve to like eat better. Yeah. You know, that's like a huge mental.
Yeah, and I think the starting point is
challenge.
Harder for if you're actually like a bigger person. It's like really challenging to be like, I'm at the gym now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
100%.
I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like,
no.
I still don't know what we're doing.
No, we've created like a schedule, and I didn't go into detail about what it is, but like, because I can make a separate video for workout, but you're gonna feel stupid. Like, it's a lot of losing weight is literally just like proving to yourself that you can do certain things. And I was saying that like when we first started, like the goal was to go to the gym. Yeah. It wasn't like to go and do X, Y, and Z. It was literally just to show up. Yeah. And that was like, I mean, when you're someone who doesn't do that normally, or you're scared, you're self-conscious, you don't want to look stupid at the gym, you don't want to do the wrong thing, you don't want to like make a fool of yourself, you know, in front of all these people. It's like that's enough of an inhibitor for a lot of people to just never go. Yeah.
When we started, the most I could do on the treadmill, I think we just talked about this, the most I could do on the treadmill was like 2 miles an hour and then no incline. And I would like look at everyone else and be like, wow, they're doing like 7 incline at like 3 miles an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, but now I'm doing like 3 miles an hour, like 15 incline.
Yes.
Know? So it's like, it just takes time to get better at things, you know? And,
yeah.
You know, it does suck to be at the bottom. You know what I mean? Be like, I'm starting like a toddler.
No, literally, but like everyone is starting somewhere. And that's like, I was mentioning that like, your goals are always going to be changing.
Mm-hmm.
And like where we are now is like where we never saw ourselves being 60 pounds ago. But also, like he was just saying, like in another 60 pounds down, like those goals are going to look different. It's going to be like, I, you know, walked 45 minutes at a 12 incline, you know, at 3 miles an hour. So we did just do that, you know, but it's like, it's crazy because I think when you're in the thick of it and you're feeling like you're stuck and you're at the bottom and it sucks to be you and you're embarrassed to even like be there, like you'll see, like you'll be able to feel the difference by just continuing to go. You just can't, like, you can't give up. You can't let you like talk yourself out of going because you're like too embarrassed or you're like too tired or whatever.
Because it does suck.
It sucks. Like it sucks.
You know,
it's never fun being like
I hate
the new person.
to, like fit people who are like already fit and like I love the gym. I'm like, that's great, man. I fucking don't. You know what I mean? I hate it here. You know what I mean? I'm starting to like it now just because it's like our third place. You know, instead of like work or you know, it's like somewhere to go. But like it's not. And it
unfortunately does help your mental health. It does feel
turns
good.
Out all those things like work, dude. You know,
yeah, no one knew. No one knew. But like again, when you are like not into those things for so long, it's so easy to convince yourself that like everyone is lying and that like
or it's not for you. Like it's not
right. It's just not something that you see yourself enjoying.
Yeah, I think a lot of fit people love to tell like fat people that they're doing it wrong, and it's like, no, I know for sure. Because everyone who's fat knows they're fat, you know.
Right.
Don't be a person who's like, just letting you know.
Right. If you didn't know already,
you're fat, and that's disgusting. Like, you know.
Like for instance, let me just tell this quick story. So we go to Edge Fitness, and they have an in-body scan that you can do, and so we had done one like maybe.
It was last April.
Like a year ago almost. Just to kind of hit like a baseline, and we had already lost a little bit of weight by then, but the dude who worked there who's doing our scan is like a gym bro, right? Like they're all like in their early 20s. They're all like, you know, got their degree in nutrition, which is great.
Maybe.
But they've never been overweight, and I think there's nothing more insulting than like being told what to do by someone who's never been in your shoes. And he was just kind of like, we had mentioned that we had already lost some weight and that, you know, this was kind of like our baseline jumping off point. And then he's like, but what are you eating? Because like, it doesn't matter that you've lost weight if like you're not eating what you should be eating. And it's like, no, I know. But like, we've already made those changes and it's like a long-term thing. So it's so frustrating to be a fat person in a not fat space or surrounded by people who don't understand the struggles that come with being fat.
Like, you know, like, so I think it's tough, right? So so I've lost 60 pounds, right? I'm still morbidly obese. You know what I mean? And I think that's crazy for someone else to, like a gym bro to realize is like, if they lose 60 pounds, they're malnourished, you know? And it's like, yeah, I've lost more weight than you can fathom. Right. Than like you have. You know what I mean? So it's
like he was also mentioning, this dude at the gym was saying that he was like actually like bulking, so he was like trying to eat more and like gain muscle weight. And so it's just, you know, that's someone's journey for sure. Like, and I love that for you, but to be told how to live your life by someone, or to be given tips by someone who's never been in your shoes before is like probably one of the most irritating things ever.
So I mean, like, someone who has never been like morbidly obese wouldn't really understand what it's like to like cut your toenails. You know what I mean? Like, wow, now that I've lost 60 pounds, it's like easy. You know what I mean? And like, just dumb weird shit. It's like, you know, like washing your ass in the shower. It's like
or like easy. You know, tying your shoes or putting your socks on or anything. It's like you're less out of breath. You're, you know, more easily able to move and be flexible and like I used to have really bad like foot pain, and even I just thought of this yesterday, and I don't even think I told you, but like I haven't had that pain in a long time. And it's just like stuff that you get used to people who have never been in your shoes will never understand that.
So I mean, like,
those aspects of it.
Because even the jumping off point is harder for someone who already weighs a lot, you know, than it is for someone to kind of just go on and be like, oh, I kind of want to gain some muscle, you know, because like it was hard for me to be on the treadmill for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? So it's like I couldn't even like burn the calories needed. You know what I mean? Because I was so tired and so exhausted and like in pain. I mean, now I do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like no big deal. But you know what I mean? So it is tough to like hear from people who haven't been in our shoes, you know, or like your shoes, whoever you are, you know,
like told what to do.
Yeah. You
so
know?
Take everything with a grain of salt, basically, and like don't like we obviously still go to the gym, we still see people, and like I understand that they're coming from a good place when they have suggestions, but it's also like if you're someone who is that person, maybe just be more aware of.
Well, it's like telling a drug addict like drugs are bad.
Right.
I know.
I know.
Yeah, we all know that. I'm surprised here.
Right.
But,
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels very weird to say that we're like over 60 pounds down, and I definitely feel like the way that we've done it is sustainable, and doing it together has made, I think, the biggest impact because like the same way that we can encourage each other, we can usually, like in the past, we can both talk each other into the opposite. Like we can both be like, oh, you're tired, like I'm tired, let's not, you know, or like whatever. But now it's like even when we're tired, it's like, well, we're going to the gym, and we may not it's almost, it feels, it's more gratifying to like earn laziness.
Yeah, like
it's like kind of
today's a no gym day, so I want to be a fucking sloth and do nothing. So well, I worked out yesterday and my legs hurt real bad because it was leg day. Right. So like you know.
You like feel better about being lazy when you're like being so active. And
I am more tired though.
Yeah.
Because I'm always just sore.
Yeah.
Do you want to go over some of these?
So I already went over those.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, do you have any other tips or
any like words of wisdom
for someone just starting out?
Honestly, like the biggest thing for me was me, you know, being like, I'll never be Chris Hemsworth, you know what I mean? And like if I don't, that's okay too, you know what I mean? But I have noticed like I've gotten stronger, and that just feels good, you know. But I was comfortable in being in a spot where I wasn't my best. Do you know what I mean? And that, like, as I think about it, you know, now, even though I'm still, like I said, morbidly obese, I was morbidly obeser at one time, you know. So it's, the change is possible for sure, but it's also like I'm deserving of this, and like, you know, but believing that, you know, because I was so comfortable in being being that guy. You know what I mean? The guy who like ate too much, the guy who like didn't do anything, and like that became my personality, right? And like now I still have the same personality where I'm like be lazy and like bingy and like, you know, but
but it's like actually truly believing that like I'm gonna feel better, and I deserve to like do these things that I don't always want to do.
There's a lot of psychology to it. Like I feel like going to the gym when you like after like 4 weeks, it becomes like enjoyable when you want to go, kind of.
Because I feel like after 4 weeks was when we started noticing a difference, and we were able to like add more weight and like see a difference in that way. Whereas like whether or not we were seeing it on the scale, we were feeling it. Yeah,
but I guess believing it. You know what I mean? Because like I'll come home from the gym and I'll like take my shirt off and also see that I'm like really overweight, and I'm like, why am I doing this, dude? Like, you know, like nothing's really changed. You know, and to anyone else in the world, I'm still a huge fat piece of shit. You know what I mean? So it's like. It's tough to be like, it's okay to keep going. And like, you know, I don't know. Like I've been on like a plateau for like 2 weeks now. Just like between the same like 4 or 5 pounds. And I really want to give up. But here I am, you know. But again, like I don't see going to the gym now as like part of the problem. You know, it's like just something I want to do. But, you know.
But that does also lead me to another thing of like, not doing everything at once, because that's any other time that we have tried to do all the things at once, like change the way we eat, be in a deficit, go to the gym, be more strict with like more steps that we're getting or whatever, cutting out carbs and quitting smoking, or, you know, trying to do all the things at once, cold turkey has never worked.
Yeah. Well, because I want to be better tomorrow. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, that's the idea in my head, is like, if I do everything good today, like tomorrow I should be great. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, like, it's not just that tomorrow is better, it's like all of the tomorrows. And like those add up.
Yeah. So I mean,
and we're never like not gonna eat pizza again or not eat wings again, or
yeah, that's like I think the biggest thing too is like people are, especially on like TikTok and shit, like people will be like 1,200 calories regardless of your goals. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's cool, I guess. Like, but I love Culver's, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think like allowing myself to just budget those in.
Yes.
You know, like things like that. You know, I still kind of, I get down on myself a lot. Like, we had Wingstop the other day, right?
Yeah,
and
I told him
like,
about that.
You know, and like, I was eating it and I was like, God, like, you're such a loser, dude. You know, but like, got up the next day, went to the gym.
Like, but the day was still a good day. It
Yeah,
wasn't like,
I was still under in my calories, like.
Exactly.
But
so
the association, right? It's like, this is bad food, and like.
Yes, but getting rid of that like demonizing attitude is so important, because like, no one food is like better than another, and you can lose weight eating all of the foods on the table.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's something that's really hard when you're super overweight too.
Right.
Is like when you go to like Wingstop, right? Like a hot dude who's like 180 eating a bunch of Wingstop is a mukbang. Me doing it is a binge disorder.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like everyone sees me as like not. You know what I mean? Like you're the way you look at fat people. Well, whatever. You know, like the judgment's there, and it's
for
like,
sure
embarrassing. It's like I shouldn't be eating this, but it's like actually like I don't really give a shit. I can just eat whatever I want and
budget it and move on.
Yeah.
Because we made dinner the next night. We still tracked our breakfast and lunch that day.
Yeah.
We still tracked Wingstop.
We haven't not tracked for 52 days.
Yes.
Straight. So
we're on a new streak.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
But it feels good, and it's not as daunting or challenging as it was when we first started.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too. Is like, I mean, it's like everything. Like people say, like coming out, it gets better. You know, like that's like the hashtag. Like working out, it does get better. You know, there are still days where I just wish I could just eat something without tracking it. You know, but you know, I think psychologically, I'm not really that person to be like, you know what you should eat. You know, like, you know, that's enough. That's a portion.
Yeah.
You know, and especially now because I can see like, okay, if I have 6 Thin Mint cookies, that's 160 calories. Like, you know, like I just know those things kind of now, but I'm still like I have to track because like 6 cookies turns into like 14 pretty quick.
Yes.
And then like the whole sleeve, and then like the whole box. You know, so it's.
Oh my God!
It's
just so easy to do,
yeah,
and we're
just
both
being responsible to yourself, though. You know.
Yes. I think we're
the
both binge eaters like that, in a sense of like it's taken a long time to learn how to budget and balance to still eat the foods that we like, but not go overboard.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard when you do edibles too, because like you can do some edibles and it's like, whoops.
Then everything tastes really good and it's very difficult. Yeah. But also hand in hand with finding other things to eat. And we were just talking about earlier, putting together like a low-calorie staples that we keep on hand. Like volume eating is really big, and also like finding foods that like take a long time to eat. Yeah. So for him, like pumpkin seeds, right? Because he's gotta like deshell them, and it takes time. And so having one portion set out could take like 20-25 minutes to eat, because you're like taking your time to pick them apart. And so if you're someone that needs to do something with your hands,
it facilitates that, like eating chips kind of thing.
Yes.
You know, and like watching a movie, or like just playing a game and grabbing a couple seeds or whatever, and then like you're like, oh, I gotta pick these apart like a little vermin. Right. You know.
But it feels like you've been eating for a long time, but you've only had one portion, and it's just taking you longer to eat it.
Yeah. So I mean, a portion of pumpkin seeds, 30 grams, is 130 calories. You know, but it's surprising how much that is. Yeah. You know, but it's, you know, like I said, it's tough to go into that being like, this is all you can have. Because I think that was the fear too, is like we both have like a food anxiety. Yeah. I mean, I grew up really poor, and you know, we didn't always have food, you know. So now that I've busted my ass through college and grad school and job after job, you know, I make a pretty decent living, and now I'm like, I'm never gonna not have food again. You know what I mean? And that's like really tough for me to be like, you've done really well. You can eat these ding dongs. You know what I mean?
Right.
These ho-hos, or you bought them, dude. You know?
Yeah.
So that's also really tough.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
But also, like, the flip side of this, which I kind of touched on earlier, is that, like, knowing that you can, like, we can go out and, like, buy ding dongs or ho-hos. Like, the scarcity is, like, strictly mental.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not, like, I know this is the last loaf of bread we're ever going to have, you know, or, like, the
but
last bag of chips. Or
at one point in my life, I was like, I don't know if this is, like...
100%. And that's really hard to, like, grow out of when you get older.
Yeah. Well, and also, like, we didn't have a lot of stuff like that when I was growing up. So I was like, now I can afford this shit.
Right, like, now I can buy...
Like, my friends always had, like, snacks at home, you know what I mean? And my house wasn't really a snack house. You know? It was kind of just, like, there's stuff here.
Ingredients.
Yeah, there's, like, an egg. You know, there's, like, relish. Like, you know? But, you know, now I want my house to be, like, as welcoming as people I grew up with, you know? So it's, like...
For sure.
Hard to limit that and be like, sorry, like, we don't have all the Dorito flavors, you know?
Right. It's a balance of, like, living out things that you wanted in childhood or that you didn't have, and also realizing that, like, you don't need to have them all right now, because it's very tempting.
Yeah, really tough.
And but I still, like, I'm not perfect by any means, but, like, I still buy the things that I want to eat. I just build them into my day, like Doritos, Cheez-Its, pretzels, coffee. Yeah, I'm not gonna be, like, that's another thing too, is, like, being honest with who you are, I think is huge, and recognizing that, like, if you're someone who doesn't like sugar-free stuff and, like, you have the option to not have sugar-free things,
do
it. Then do it. Yeah. And just account for it. Yeah. Like, make it up in other areas. So maybe if you had a breakfast, or let's just say your coffee is 300 calories and you want to match your food to that, then make it more protein, lower calorie, so that you can have both.
Yeah.
But you're not, like, gypping yourself, you know? Because I was talking about earlier, like, if I wanted a piece of chocolate cake, and then instead I ate, like, a chocolate Fiber One bar, I might end up eating, like, 10 or 12 Fiber One bars, when in reality it would have been healthier for me to just have this thing I want than try to supplement with all these other things that aren't filling that craving for me.
Yeah, I also do this too. If I ignore something that I want, you know what I mean? And I have it, I'll get depressed being like, you caved, you know? So that slice of cake turns into a cake. You know,
right.
I'm like, well, you're already off the rails.
Might as well.
Yeah, who cares, dude?
Might as well keep going.
Yeah. But,
so it's just, it's a lot of mental warfare, honestly. Like, as we're talking about this, I think it's just, like, growing up being overweight.
With diet culture.
And with diet culture.
Like, I feel like our parents' generation was very, like, diet culture.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so off the bat, I wasn't good enough because I was just, like, a chubby kid, you know? But I'm like, okay, who's buying this food? You know what I mean? I don't have it. So I'm like, all you have is pasta because we're poor. So, like, I ate pasta all the time. You know, breakfast pasta, lunch pasta, dinner pasta. You know, but it's from the food country. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. And then, like, my mom, when she would, like, get a steady job and, like, income, like, she would buy, like, the Skinny Cow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm like, it was, like, just drilled into me, like, you can't have, like, full metal jacket, as you guys say.
Yeah, my
things,
mom.
you know?
Yeah, that's my mom saying.
Yeah.
Full metal jacket. If it's, like, not diet, then it's full metal jacket.
Which is just regular food.
It's just regular food. Yeah, it's
food.
just regular.
Yeah.
But, like, not being able to have a regular ice cream bar and needing it to be...
Yeah. That first, like, few weeks, we needed those Eclair bars.
Oh, yeah.
They're 140. They're really good. They're 140 calories.
Yes.
But they're, like, the old school, like...
Yes,
ice
good.
Cream you get
What is
from,
it?
like,
Good, not Goodyear.
Good Humor.
Good Humor.
We get them from, like, a ice cream...
truck, like, when growing up.
By some pervert, you know, who's like, here you go.
I
mean, they're way more than $1 for sure now. But,
oh, yeah.
They're so good.
They're so good, and they are full metal jacket. There's nothing diet about them, but they're only 140 calories.
And they, like...
It's so good. They fucking hit exactly the same as they did when we were little.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm having an Eclair thing today.
Yeah.
You know? But it's like, I know I'm going to have one.
Yeah.
Or I know I'm going to want one for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's easier to have that than be like, there's chips or something I can just, like, lose control of, you know?
Right. So, anyways, that's our spiel.
Yeah.
That was a lot. This is probably gonna be the longest video I've ever made.
We could just talk
But thank you for watching if you've watched this far. And hopefully there's some things that you can use from this video. Tips, tricks, advice, suggestions. And I'll be sure to make more that are not this long, I promise.
What were we even talking about?
But thank you for chiming in. Thank you for being on this channel.
Oh, you're talking to talking to the audience.
You guys.
Let's ask the audience. Yeah.
No, thank you for stopping by.
I think we can chop it up though, make it pretty good.
Yeah.
You know.
Put that in. My mom's gonna watch this.
I'm just saying.
I hope you guys have a good day.
I have to go back to work.
Yeah, I hope everyone is having a good day. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you're not already.
Go ahead and smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about this extremely long video.
Yeah. Smash the like button. Get Mr. Beast to give us like $10 million.
Yes.
It'll be good.
And then we'll be set.
I'll be as thin as you want me to be.
Bye.